going to have to beat the teams he's supposed to beat, and that's the Jags, it's Minnesota, it's Washington, it's teams like that don't have winning records, and you've got to be able to beat one or two of the teams that you're not supposed to beat. Maybe it's the Bucs, maybe it's the next time you play the Pack, or those are the teams that you've got to find a way to win. And if they make the playoffs, that's the only way that he's able to save his job.
And I agree with all that, but I think just schematically, if they go down to Jacksonville after this bye week and their defense looks the same, he should not come back home with the team.
Even if they win?
Yeah, if it's like the Arizona game, I honestly, yeah. You know what? The Miami Dolphins went to Jacksonville, won by 18 points.
I know.
And they had 3 days to prepare.
Yeah.
You got 2 weeks. If that defense doesn't look different schematically, then this isn't going to, all the things that you guys said, it's not going to happen. Right. Because half those games against these teams are supposed to be have good quarterbacks or solid ones in Watson, Rivers, Ryan. They're going to light up this same defense. So they've got to change the way they're doing things.
Don't sleep on the mustache.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, evaluate Matthew Stafford's play so far this season.
I'd say 5. He's right in the middle because he has at times shown that he can be good, but at times he shows that he's going to make that bonehead play. He's going to take the sack. He's going to throw the interception. And right now he's 14th in passing yards. So he's right in the middle of NFL quarterbacks. So I'll put him right in the middle of 1 to 10.
I'm going to give him a little bit of a break and give him a 6, but it's not much with semantics. He's not been really good. He's been a little above average. 5 to me is average, so he's been a little above average, especially in the early part of the games. He's been pretty damn good, but other than that, he hasn't. So I'm going to give him a 6. It's been disappointing, no doubt.
You guys described his career in a nutshell, though.
Yeah.
Average most of the time, and sometimes a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit worse.
Exactly. All right, Kenny Golladay will be a free agent this coming off season. There were reports that the Lions were close to an extension before the season started. What should the Lions do with Golladay? And do you trust Bob Quinn to do the right thing with Golladay?
I don't trust Bob Quinn to do anything right now. However, I would re-sign Kenny Golladay. I mean, I wouldn't pay him like Julio Jones money or something like that, but he deserves to be, not the top tier, the second run. He's young enough. He's still really good, and they have nobody else in the end zone, in the red zone, wide receiver-wise, who can even catch a freaking pass. And he, even though it's wide receiver, you need some building blocks for whoever takes him.
I agree. You've got to have some building blocks. He is one. On offense, you have some that you can build upon. If you go with a young quarterback, you're going to want to have that receiver that you can rely on that can make some of those plays, especially like Stoney said, they're in the red zone. But in regards to Bob Quinn, I don't necessarily trust him to do anything, but I don't necessarily trust him right now to do what's best in the long-term interest of the Lions, because I don't know that has long-term interest here.
The scariest thing about having Golladay, and not extending him is they would maybe the entire receiver corps would be different next year.
Exactly.
That's very scary. All right, we're 4 games into the Lions season. What was Bob Quinn's best and worst decision this past off season?
His worst decision for me was not taking a quarterback, and I go back to everything that I just said. And when you have a quarterback like Matt Stafford, you have a contract like Matt Stafford, you know he's going to be here, so you can draft a quarterback, let him sit behind Matt Stafford, learn an offense, learn NFL defenses, and the long-term play would have been to take a quarterback at number 3. And I think that his best decision, that's a hard one, but I honestly, I would say, giving Taylor Decker an extension, because you have to be able to build on that offensive line. It's probably, and this is, it's a little bit of a stretch, but if you're going to build, and I mentioned this on Monday, you've got to build up front. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, I think has great potential. You could have a decent offensive line, 2 good offensive line coming up. Now you just have to focus on the defensive side.
His worst decision, I'm going to change mine because I originally wrote pretty much the same thing. The way he used the third pick of the draft, not trading down, whatever. But I'm going to say, because you brought up the lineman, giving all that money to Vaitai. I mean, granted it's early, but that's still a lot of money. People said it at the time, he's not worth that kind of money. And especially when you have these young guys around there, what do you have to do that? His best decision offseason, it's not even close. Signing Jack Fox as a free
like it did MLB a couple months ago. There's been talk about teams individually bubbling in hotels. The detractors say no because these players would have to be separated from their families for several months. Should family trump bubbling when it comes to the NFL moving forward?
Well, each family is different. If you have some, pregnancy and somebody with, sick, I get that. And maybe I'm just too old school. I'm sorry. It's your job. You're getting paid a lot of money. If you want to opt out like a lot of players do. But if you sign up, you're in, bubble them up. There are people in this world who have a lot tougher jobs than playing football, that actually have to be overseas, in foxholes in Afghanistan. I know a lot of them are home, but you understand what I'm saying? Armed forces, those people are away from their families longer than a few months, and they're not exactly in cushy hotels either.
100% agree with Stoney. And being a former player, yes, it would be tough to be away from your family, the grind of an NFL season. We heard it some from the NBA players, but it's your job, right? And it's the health of the league, it's the health of, and you have such a small opportunity to play this game. If they were to say, hey, you can either bubble or we're going to postpone the season or cancel the season, I think those players would say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and bubble.
Well, they barely got through last week. The NFL did with two postponements and are delaying a game, and Cam Newton and Mo Hurst is in COVID protocol now. I wish the NFL would just go public. Do they have COVID or is it tracing?
Right.
That way we would, be able to find out how serious it is. But they're so close to having to do something different. All right, Bill O'Brien was the first coach and general manager to be fired this season. Who do you think will be the next coach fired?
Dan Quinn, Atlanta. I think they had higher expectations coming into the season. You start 0-4, you lose a leads like they continue to lose. They've got a good quarterback in Matt Ryan. They've got a rushing attack. Defensively, they obviously need to improve. They've given up over 30 points in every single game. It's been tough here in Detroit. It's been tough in Atlanta. I think Dan Quinn's the next one to be out.
I'm going to say Adam Gase. And they play the Arizona Cardinals this week. I believe that the Jets play. They can't beat them. The Cardinals are proving that they're really not that good. I'm Adam Gase. It's enough. They're horrible.
Well, we brought this up a few weeks ago, and I'd said Bill O'Brien was sneaky at 10-1 odds.
Right.
Man, we could have crushed it. We could have crushed it.
Yes.
$100 would have been $1,000. Wow. All right, obviously the Chiefs are everybody's favorite to win the Super Bowl. What team is flying under the radar right now that has Super Bowl potential?
I don't know if you consider them flying under the radar because they were one of the Final Four teams last year, but don't sleep on the Tennessee Titans. I mean, they're still really good. I mean, they're not the most exciting team in the world. Derrick Henry left, Derrick Henry right, but Tannehill has played really good. Their offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, is really good, and Vrabel's teams play pretty tough defense. I wouldn't sleep on them. They didn't play this week, so people kind of forgot them.
They did, and one of the things I like about Vrabel's teams is that they don't make a lot of mental errors. We saw a couple of them in the first one or two games, but I think that was basically preseason games. They were able to come out with wins. For me, it's New England, and I think we're seeing this play out. And Tom is doing fine down in Tampa Bay. He's going to be there, but the way Bill Belichick gets this team to play, the way he puts defensive game plans together. I mean, they were playing the Chiefs tough on Monday night, and that's without Cam Newton. They were trying to piece together that quarterback position. I don't sleep on New England being a Super Bowl contender.
One more, the Colts, plus 47-point differential. League leading low, 56 points allowed, and they played 4 games. Some of them only played 3. And if Rivers in an emerging running game with Jonathan Taylor, watch out. That team could be very dangerous, I think. All right, a couple college football nuggets. Last year, LSU took a step up in weight class and won the national championship. What program looks poised to take that next step this year to be a legitimate national title contender?
I'm going with the Florida Gators. What we've seen, I think Kyle Trask, when he took over last year, that team was completely different. They've got speed on defense, they've got strength up front, and he's got a tight end that is I'm not sure he's a tight end / wide receiver, just / stud in Kyle Pitts. 6 touchdowns. This guy he's going to be taken in the top 10 of the NFL draft next year. A guy that everybody needs to keep their eye on. Kyle Pitts is a dominating presence race like we saw from Joe Burrow and LSU last year, but the Florida Gators to be in the national championship race like we saw LSU last year.
All right, I'm going to regret this one come Saturday because they'll probably get killed because I'm saying that, but the U, they look really good. The transfer quarterback there, King, is very, very good, and maybe it's good for college football if the U is back.
We find out this week.
Yes,
for
they
sure.
back
I think John nailed it. I'm a Kyle Trask guy. The guy is extremely accurate. And Lions fans, don't forget that name.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say right now, because you might not draft high enough to get Lawrence and Fields, but Kyle Trask might be worth it if you're in the top 10. The Pac-12 proposed the college football playoff should expand for just one season because of COVID this year. Do you think the college football playoff should expand for just this year?
Yeah, why not? Because a lot of people want it anyway, so this is such a bizarre year, 2020. Give it a shot, and if people figure out, you know what, 4 was fine, then you go back to 4. If not, 8 is great.
I'm an expansionist as well. I've always been an expansionist. I think 8 teams is where they need to be. This is a great year for them to be able to test it out, see what it's like, see what the process is like. This is going to be trying to compare apples, oranges, bananas in every different league because you have no crossover games. You don't know how many games each conference is going to play. Expand it to 8 teams. Let as many in as you possibly can get in and continue to sort out who the best team is through the college football playoffs. 8 would be perfect this year.
All right, and that concludes the weekly edition of The Wide Nine on 97.1 The Ticket.
I got sent some pro football odds for futures for Super Bowl, and Seattle has gone from a 20-1 favorite to open the season to a 15-2. Then you got your Lions. They opened at 66-1. Now they're 150-1. You want to get out of that action? You need to get down to the BetMGM Sports Lounge inside MGM Grand Detroit. They're ready to take your real money wagers on all the action. You can stop by anytime and place your bets in the live betting window, or you can go to one of the easy-to-use self-service kiosks. The BetMGM Sports Lounge welcomes fans back to the excitement of a full betting menu 7 days a week. Whether you live and breathe sports or you're just looking to place a wager on your favorite team, the BetMGM Sports Lounge at MGM Grand Detroit is ready to take your single-game bets along with parlays, props, future bets, and more. I was looking at the MVP odds in pro football, and actually Pat Mahomes is now 5-1. He opened at 4-1 because Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are playing so great. So if you want to get in on those odds, you need to get down to the BetMGM Sports Lounge. Get ready to believe in your game again at the BetMGM Sports Lounge at MGM Grand Detroit. Must be 21 or older.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, a car fire is affecting the right side of US 23 southbound after 9 Mile. Be prepared for slowdowns from Silver Lake Road. Then the northbound US 23 ramp to westbound M14 is still closed due to an early morning crash. There's another accident, Telegraph southbound just north of 14 Mile in the left lane, and an accident investigation in Garden City. Inkster at Ford Road is closed. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
This is former Esiason with the Radio.com Sports Minute. As far as I'm concerned, folks, January 1st cannot come soon enough. Obviously, it will be great for everyone to finally put the year 2020 behind us. But for those of us who live and die for the New York Rangers, New Year's Day 2021 is the tentatively scheduled start of the new NHL season. And I, for one, am eager to see the Blue Shirts' overall #1 pick, Alexis Lafreniere, in action. As the Rangers rebuild has come together, they have already acquired last year's #2 overall selection, Capo Kakko, and Hart Trophy finalist Artemi Panarin, along with dynamic young goalie Igor Shesterkin. Last night, they officially tabbed Lafreniere, the two-time MVP of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League and its leading scorer. But what I really like more about this young man is what I'm hearing about how he enjoys creating plays and making the other players around him look so good. Bienvenue on Broadway, Alexei. I'm Boomer Esiason.
We've all heard of Casper, you know, the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products and not so outrageous prices. From award-winning mattresses to pillows, sheets, and duvets, Casper transforms the way we sleep one snooze at a time. Every Casper mattress is designed with a system to react and adapt to your body all night long. Inside, precisely 1,501 perforations create a cooling system so effective that you will not be awake to notice. Only Casper mattresses are made with 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Altogether, it's the cooling, supporting comfort that you need for the most refreshed feeling come morning time. From bedding, bed frames, and now even a dog bed, Casper has everything you need to build the $50 off your mattress order. Terms and conditions do apply. See Casper.com/terms.
I wake up early, do a little studying, take the dog out, finish that audiobook
Until the very end.
finish that workout, then stop by McDonald's for breakfast and somehow manage to do it all before that 10 a.m. meeting meal. There's a meal for every morning at McDonald's.
Get all your favorites from the McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu, like the sausage biscuits, sausage McGriddles, or crispy hash browns. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal.
Baseball, apple pie, and mother waddles. I ask you, what's more American than helping the poorest of the poor? Folks, this election season, vote for Mother Waddles when it comes time to donating your car. Mother Waddles has been providing much needed assistance and transportation to Detroit's needy for over 50 years. So join the tens of thousands of those who have already supported Mother Waddles with their generous car donation. And remember, the vote for Mother Waddles is also a vote for the best possible tax deduction when it comes time to donate your car. So keep Mother Waddles number one here in Michigan by simply calling 313-WADDLES to donate your car. Mother Waddles is a name you can trust. Call today, 313-WADDLES, or donate your car online at motherwaddles.org. I'm Rick Frazier, and on behalf of Mother Waddles, I approve this message.
Your vote is your power. It's just that simple. Your vote is how you say you stand for something. It's how you say you count, you matter, and you are a part of choosing the direction of this country. And the time to make your voice, your vote, and your power heard has never been more important than it is
Starting
today.
route to 4422 Pepper
Whether
Road.
you vote by mail, vote early, or vote on
At
election
the
day,
stop sign,
vote by
turn
mail.
right onto Inkster Road.
Vote.org is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are you registered to vote? Find out how at vote411.org. Don't miss the deadline.
In
Every state is
1.9
different.
miles, turn
Plan to
left
vote
onto
by
West
December
Buffalo
3rd
Road.
or by your state's deadline if you're voting by mail. Vote. Make it count. Go to vote411.org. 97.1 The Ticket and CBS Sports Radio 1270. Your homes for the NFL on Westwood One. The Chicago Bears host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Thursday night football. Pre-game at 8 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. Here's Stoney and Jansen.
All right, 248-539-9797, still ahead of the program. Former Lion and Washington Redskin back then, Gus Farrar. Look at it. He played with both the Lions and the Redskins, and he was never a teammate with John Jansen. Although, John, you played against him in the playoffs.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I did. Just missed him.
That's right. Gus Farrar will be with us. We will also hear from Wojo, somebody else who you never actually competed against. I think you could take him on one-on-one. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Depends on the game.
Yeah, will Woj be more of a nose tackle? I think that would be his...
Yes, he would have the Rob Renus leverage.
John, do you remember Wojo covering the team when you were playing?
I do. I remember him. I remember Angelique. All of those individuals covering the team. I even remember a guy that had more hair at that time, a Doug Harsh. and I don't remember where it was, but I do remember him running around the sidelines, running around the field, and seeing him there. So.
Oh, yeah, he was Mr. TKA back then, and he did a lot of stuff for Michigan Insider, or whatever it was called, the TV show. Did you ever listen to me and Wojo on the radio? Did you ever listen to talk radio? Because in college, kids don't listen to talk radio in the dorms and things like that.
I used to, and radio's kind of always been the intriguing thing for me. And I've said this story before. I grew up listening to Ernie Harwood,
Right.
Listening to Beckman and Brandstatter, and I've always enjoyed the theater of the mind, and so I would listen to sports talk radio. As soon as you'd say something bad about Michigan, I'd turn it off.
We would never have done that.
Right, yes.
Come on.
Yeah, I think I might have heard the whole M stands for mediocre. Might have actually started. I'm going to have to go back and check. That might have been Stoney started that.
No.
Now, what year did you graduate again, John?
I graduated in '98.
Okay, so you were on the team that started 0-2 after the national championship.
Yes.
That had to be
yes.
some good talk radio.
Oh, God.
Yes.
That was-
Losing to Notre Dame. I'm sure that was probably what started it off, and then obviously Donovan McNabb is still running loose in the big house.
That was one of my fan moments that I don't that I kind of regret but don't regret. I was sitting, rooting for Michigan, but sitting in this, with some people from Syracuse.
Starting route to 4422
They
Pepper
were,
Road.
Obviously winning the game. It was late. And
Making
McNabb
U-turn.
was still in the game. And you know how I am. One of my pet peeves if people don't take, the star players out, for various reasons, whether it's letting the other, players actually who practice a lot play. And also, I'm a wuss about getting guys injured when they in garbage time. And McNabb is and I'm just screaming at Pascal.
In 6.2 miles, take exit 14C onto F39 at Southfield
I was
Freeway.
just going ape, what? And it's because it really bothered me. And they put a whooping on you guys.
They definitely put a whooping on us, and we came back obviously with the team at the time that cured all ails, Eastern Michigan, and then we knew we had another win because we had the Spartans coming to town the next week, so we got back on a roll.
Which Spartan team was that? That was that a Nick Saban team? No.
Yes. Was Saban still there?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah, I know he was there in '97.
Yeah, because Saban, was that the year they went to the bowl game? Or was that 99?
99 the next year.
Yeah.
When Michigan screwed them because
Right.
Michigan got to go to the Orange Bowl even though State beat them.
Right.
That's one of my things where I'll always be fair to Spartans. That Michigan State should have gone to the Orange Bowl that year. But anywho. So, John, once they started 0-2, how come you just didn't opt out?
Oh boy. We don't have enough time in this segment for me to go on and talk about those that want to quit on their teammates.
Well, we do have time coming up next to talk about that. And you are fired up already as guys are opting out. Should they opt out in this weird season to protect their NFL careers? Our telephone number 248-539-9797.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines.
Southfield
played a
Freeway.
couple of games. In 98, yes, we lost to Notre Dame, we lost to Syracuse. But there was, and I actually had, last night, there's a MGO Blue
Take the
Kids
exit.
Club that I had to do this video for, and they asked me what the most proud moment I had as a captain was. And I think a lot of the kids were expecting me to say it was winning the national championship, but for me it was actually the 98 team that was able to come back against,
save yourself a bunch of money? Well, you're in luck, because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data, or a mix of each. All on one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together for just $40 a month, and you could save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. You'll get Internet for 12 months with a 1-year agreement, and mobile with our 1 gig wireless data option. Go to Xfinity.com/savebig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/25/20. Restrictions apply. New performance starter customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
If your air conditioner sounds like keys tumbling in the dryer, don't hesitate. Call the experts at Flame. That's Flame Heating and Cooling. Go online now to flamefurnace.com or call 888-234-2340. That's 888-234-2340.
It's time to think Ford first. Right now, Kurt AZ Plan Trade-in customers can lease a 2020 Ford Fusion SE for $149 a month for 24 months, with $2,049 due in signing. The Fusion comes standard with Ford Copilot 360, which includes features like rear-view camera, Bliss blind spot information system, and pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all SEs will qualify for Ford Credit Red Carpet Low Mileage Lease. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Payment includes RCL bonus cash, select inventory RCL cash, trade assist, and renewal cash. Take new retail delivery from dealer stock by November 3rd. See dealer for qualifications and complete details. Some exclusions may apply. So lease a 2020 Ford Fusion for $149 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Joe Biden.
To fix the economy, we have to get control over the virus. I'm releasing a plan to save lives in the months ahead. We need to increase federal support for testing, doubling the number of drive-through testing sites. We absolutely need a clear message from the very top of our federal government that everyone needs to wear a mask in public. Every single frontline worker should have the personal protective equipment that they need to be safe. We need to support schools and child care programs so parents, if and when they can return to work, are confident that their children will be safe and cared for. And finally, we need to protect the population's most at risk, our seniors, vulnerable population with pre-existing conditions. We need real plans, real guidelines, with uniform, nationwide standards. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We gotta fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Biden for president.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up, there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that can also use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gas. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Pro Extra is the Home Depot's free loyalty program built for pros. Members earn perks just for shopping, like new Pro Extra dollars or tool rental perks. Get exclusive benefits every day that save time and money. And here's an extra, $20 off your next in-store purchase of $200 or more, just for signing up.
Stay in the left
Want to
lane.
save? Join Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Visit the Pro Desk in-store at homedepot.com/ProExtra for details.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navien, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
This is time that matters. A window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your preteen benefits from staying up to date with their well visits. This is your window of protection. Schedule their well visit now. Brought to you by Merck.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas. It's in Vegas. Stop dreaming and start driving with a low auto loan rate from Community Financial. Low rates and no application fee mean you'll drive away with a payment designed to fit your budget. Get started today at cfcu.org. The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Last night, NBA Finals Game 4 won by the Lakers 102-96. They lead the series 3-1. Baseball playoffs, American League, Astros win their game with the A's. They lead 2-0. Rays over the Yankees. They're now tied at 1. National League Game 1s. Braves over the Marlins and Dodgers over the Padres. The Detroit Red Wings selected Lucas Raymond with the 4th overall pick of the NHL draft. He's from Sweden, 5'11", 170 pounds. And they also waived, for purposes of buyout, Justin Abdelkader. The draft rounds 2 through 7 take place today, beginning at 11:30. And here's news with Heather. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so 5 men were arrested after getting into this really wild parking lot brawl that actually included machetes and baseball bats. So it's very wild. This actually took place Sunday night in the parking lot of a farmer's market in Macomb County. So right nearby, police say that 2 men arrived first to the market together in a truck, and then they were soon met by 2 other men who were equipped with a machete and a baseball bat. Those 4 guys started to fight, and then